this is actually the data scientist course for R, SAS and Excel. So here in our first class, what we will be looking at is we'll understand what is analytics and what are all the concepts that we are going to cover in this analytics session. Okay, and we will also see some of these statistical concepts and how these statistical concepts are related to business, because everything we are going to deal is only with data. So we'll perform many statistical operations and we'll try to see how these statistical concepts are related to business and what are all the places it can be applied. Okay, and we'll also see how to perform the statistical concepts in R and the predictive model techniques in R. And the same thing we'll also be covering all these parts in SAS Studio and Excel as well. So the basic analytic techniques and the predictive modeling technique. Okay, so we'll start with analytics. So what is according to you, what is analytics? So probably what we are looking at is in this particular world, if you're looking at the generation of data is like very huge, and the amount of the data which is processed is also like huge amount. So everywhere, if you're looking at for an example, if you're looking at Walmart, they generate millions of data in seconds. So what we're going to do with all this data? So the data set is so huge. So what we're trying to do is we are trying to derive some business insights out of this entire data. We are going to crunch data and we're going to play with data to get all business insight. It is not only about business insight. It can also provide you some research insights. It provides, if there is a particular problem, analytics can give you a solution in terms of data. So if you have a data and if you have a problem, definitely analytics could give you a solution for it. So that's what it is actually a combination of all data and business and statistical part. All these three things are clubbed together to get some insight. So because only with data or business you cannot do anything. So you have to derive some insight which is helping your business. So that's what we are going to look in this particular course. So here, if you are looking at for every process that we're going to do with data science, it deals with data. So there should be some source where you are collecting all your data. So this is where in data warehouse you'll be collecting all your data. And once you collect all your data, what you will do is you need to know what is your data and what are all the parameters which is available in your data. So you need to have a clear-cut understanding of your complete data. So that's where you'll be applying all your statistical algorithms or machine learning algorithms to know what is your data and what is it telling, because every data would have a hidden story. So as a data scientist, what you should do is you should try to derive the story behind the data. So that's what the main purpose of as data scientists, because now I can tell every one of you as data scientists, because you had entered into this particular domain where where you're going to play with data and you're going to get many insights that you want. Okay, and like developing advanced data driven capabilities, because there are certain things which you should include with stats part, because business is also essential to do some analysis, because whenever you do a process you should also know the business value why you're doing this process. So without knowing the business value, it becomes tedious to do this analytics. So it is also essential for us to learn the business value, and once you know the business value and the statistical term, collaborating both, you can provide multiple solutions which help your business to move into the next level. And as a data scientist, if you're thinking that I'm from a programming background, does it help me to become a data scientist? If you have a question, definitely it can answer, yeah, because data scientist is a combination of all the techniques. Like you should have a programming knowledge, and you should have some business knowledge, and you should have some statistical knowledge. You should be a good thinking. You should have a good thinking skills, and you should have been played with data. So you should have some exposure to DB and some BI tools. So it is actually a data scientist is actually a person who is skilled at all the environment. So you cannot restrict yourself to only particular technologies. So you should have awareness of all other technologies, and once you go through this process, it becomes easy for you to understand like how other domains are working. So that becomes pretty much easier. Here are some applications where analytics is being applied. So if you're looking at analytics, I can bet you that wherever you walk, wherever you go, you can apply analytics there. Even if you're getting into a bus, or if you're walking on the road, and if you're looking at the signal, everywhere analytics can be applied. So these are all the applications where analytics is applied. So I'll just tell you some of the examples for all the sectors, how analytics is being applied. Okay. So for an example, I work on retail sector for the past 4 years. So generally, if you're looking at retail, analytics application is very vast. So for an example, in making a promotion or a replenishment or a demand forecasting or a merchandising, in all these places, analytics is being applied. For an example, just assume you're going to work for Walmart as a data scientist. There, what you would do is there you have to collect the data. So probably how we will start a process is, so whenever you get into a retail store, there you would see some products which is arranged in your shelf. So if you're looking at the arrangement of all the products in the shelf, there are some relationship between them. For an example, if there is a kids section and nearby you can find a women's section, because like whenever you're going with your family, it is easy for women to take care of their kids. What they'll do is they'll leave their kids in their kids section, and if you're looking at kids section, everything will be correlated together. And if you're getting into a store probably where you want to purchase a bread, there you would find an association product like jam or butter, and you would find all these things nearby. And for an example, if you're getting into a liquor section, next nearby you will find some snacks or side dish sections there. So these are all things which is associated together. So for doing all this process, you need the help of analytics. So where to place your product and what is the position that you have to place your product, because every product would have some relationship. So whenever you get into a store, you should know what is the relationship between the two products. There analytics can be applied. And money, you had said, learning customer behavior and consumption pattern. Yeah, so learning customer behavior is a problem which fits into all the domain, because how you're going to attract your customer. So that is actually a very important thing that you have to take in your business. So what are all the ways you can attract your customers? Can someone tell me, like, what are all the ways you can attract your customer to your particular store? Or if you have say if you have some customer base, and if you want to hold the same customer base, no one should go out of this bound. So if I have 100 customers, they should stick with me, they should not go to my competitive store. So for doing all these things, you need to know how they are behaving and what they are interested in. So based on that, you can derive many other patterns, and you have to suggest to your customers what is the decision that you have to take, and what is the promotion that you have to make. For an example, if I'm getting into a retail store, I can tell you thousand problems that a retailer have. How I'm going to attract my customer. First problem is like about the customer, how I'm going to get customer, or how I'm going to retain my customer. So for doing all these things, I need to know what is my interest, what is my customer interest. For an example, if I hold a store in a metro city, and if I hold a same store in a rural village, okay, so what is the price that I should fix for my product? For an example, if I hold a ice cream shop near an airport and I am selling the ice cream for 500, people would definitely get the ice cream, because they are like, their economic status is so high that they can afford an ice cream for 500 rupees. And if I'm holding the same shop in a rural village, and if I'm the same example, I'm from a rural town, so if I'm starting a Ibaco store there if I'm telling that a particular ice cream is 400, do you think people would get it? Definitely they'll not get, because they'll think, why should I pay 400 to get an ice cream? So that depends on people's mentality. So how we are going to understand your customer. So all these things, analytics can help you in understanding your customer. So what is their interest, what is their preference, and all this sort of things can be answered easily through retail analytics. Okay, so and coming to replenishment, so whenever you get into a store, it is mandatory for them to keep their shelves filled. For an example, if I'm holding a store in Walmart, what they did is they have different shelves for different sections. Okay, and if one of the product is not there, then it is actually they can just get a loss of sales, because I'm just getting into a shop where I'm interested in getting a butter. Okay, and I'm just getting into a section, and to my luck, all the butter packets are being sold out and my shelves is blank. So there actually the company is occurring a loss of sales, because I'm interested in getting a butter packet, but because it is not available in my shelf, I'm not getting it. That is also a loss that the company gets. So you should be very cautious that every time your shelf should be restocked, it should be filled with an appropriate stocking. So there are many problems with this stocking and understocking and overstocking. So we'll also talk about that. And next is demand forecasting. Any idea about demand forecasting? Why we are doing a demand forecasting? Demand forecasting is one thing which can be applied in all the sectors, all the domains. Okay, to stock products based on potential consumption. Yeah. So for an example, if I knew that this is the particular quantity which is going to sell in for this particular day. Then I can hold an appropriate stock. For an example, I'm working in a manufacturing company. Okay, from a from a place where it is manufactured, I'm just moving it to different stores. I'm a manager of a particular store, and today I assume that only I'm just selling soaps in a particular section, and I assume that today only 100 soaps will get sold, so that I'm just holding only 100 soaps in the particular shelf, and in my inventory I don't have any other soaps. So on a particular day, unexpectedly there are almost 200 people coming in, and they're asking for soap, and there I can meet the demand of only 100%, where the 100% I cannot meet. So there it is actually a loss for me, because if they had more stock in my particular inventory, then I could have solved all their problems, because I had not predicted my future demand well. This problems occur. If I am very sure that tomorrow the 1500 soaps would get sold, definitely I can be prepared for it. If I'm not able to predict my future values, then it becomes tedious for me to stock my inventory, so to hold my inventory. So that's where demand forecasting comes in. So demand forecasting is a problem which can be solved by analytics, which could tell you what would be your future demand. For an example, in the upcoming month, your sales can be 1500 or 2000. So I can tell you with a numeric value what would be your future demand. So based on the demand, you can just plan it, and you can keep all the products in your inventory. So that's where the demand forecasting is applied. And merchandising optimization. So these are all different problems can be solved in retail. For an example, if I'm going to launch a product, okay, where I should launch my product. For an example, I'm a holder of Walmart store, and I have almost 1,000 stores in India. Okay, and if I'm going to launch a new product in market. Say I'm just going to launch a new dress. Okay, which is a fancy come authentic dress. So where I'm going to launch this particular product in my 100 stores, because I have 1,000 stores. I have 1,000 stores in India. Okay, where I'm going to launch this new particular product. I'm going to launch a new product. No one had introduced that product in market. I'm the first one to introduce that particular product. So I need to know where I should launch this product. I have 1,000 stores in India. In which store should I launch this product? So if I knew that the top selling stores, for an example, I find some store in Delhi and some stores in Mumbai. So that is actually a metro city where my revenue is more, or where whatever products that I get in is getting sold out easily. So those sort of stores I can believe, then I can introduce this product. So there I can get a good exposure to market. I can reach out people very easily, and if they're interested, then I can extend my product to all other stores. Because if I introduce a product, what if it doesn't get sold? I cannot initially while launching a product, they will not launch almost like lakhs or 2 lakhs. They cannot produce, and they cannot launch, because if the product is not liked by the customer, then definitely it is lost for me. So what I should do is, it is actually a test case that I'm going to follow. I'm going to take a product, and I'm going to launch in one of the few stores which is performing well. In those stores, I can put this product. I can see how customers are reacting to my product, whether they are interested or not interested. There I can also take some survey to the people, and I can ask them whether do you like my product, or if you don't like, what are all the reasons why you don't like. So after the test base, I can just now implement in all of the stores. That is one way. So this is one problem that analytics can solve. And in the same way, if I ask you a question like, what are all the top selling stores, what are all the top selling products, or what are all the locations which is performing well or which is not performing well, all these basic answers analytics can easily solve. And next, coming to pricing. Okay, for an example, if I ask you a question, I'm going to launch a new product. Say I'm going to introduce a ice cream. So what is the price should I fix for my particular ice cream? So how you would solve this particular problem? These are all the problems which the retail sector faces. So whenever you get into retail, it is not only with 10 to 15 products, because if you're getting into Walmart, there will be lakhs and lakhs of products. Therefore, all the products the same problem would have. They'll be confused. What is the price that they should fix, or what is the quantity that they should generate, or they should manufacture, and what are all the locations they should focus on. And if I'm going to launch a product, where I should launch it. Okay. And money, you said promotion first. Yeah, promotion is one thing. Even if promotion makes you like selling a product very easy. So how you would fix a price? So if I tell that promotion is the second thing, so if you want to fix a price, what you will do is, okay, competitive and brand price. So first thing is you would do is your cost price. So it should not be less than your manufacturing cost. So that should be in your criteria. Okay, yeah, manufacturing price, and then you will also look at your competitive brand price, because for an example, I have an Ibaco store here, and nearby I have another store where in the same way, like I'm just selling the ice cream for 400, and if he's selling for 200, definitely people would go there. And it also depends on the quality, because Ibaco is so good and they're so quality, they can offer they can also provide the price. So if you're looking at one factor like price, there are multiple things which is related. For an example, it depends on your manufacturing cost, and it depends on your competitor price. You should not keep more price than your competitor, and you should also provide equal quality that they provide. And it is also essential to introduce in a proper market, because if I'm introducing the same ice cream in a local village, people will not get, because their economic status is very poor, they cannot afford this product. So you should be very clear that where you are going to launch this product. So these are all different factors, and all these factors, how you would derive, how you would analyze. So all these things comes from number, because number can tell you which store is performing well, and what is the economic status of the people, and how much they are interested in your product. So keeping all this as your parameter, now you can decide your price. That's what analytics does, because analytics would tell you what is the pattern hidden behind the data, and it will give you suggestion what is the problem that is prevailing in this particular sector. So based on the problem, accordingly you can take some remedies to implement all these things. Okay, so clear about it. And there are multiple applications even after launching a new product. For an example, I had worked on certain analytics problem like product association and price elasticity analysis or demand forecasting. There are multiple problems. For an example, price sensitivity analysis. Price sensitivity analysis, one such important thing, where probably if I have 100 products in my store, say for an example, I'm just planning to rise a price of some product. After increasing my price, whether it is going to affect my demand or not, that is called price sensitivity analysis. Because for an example, if there is a milk or petrol, okay, for a milk and a petrol, if I'm increasing the price, will it affect my demand? Do you think if I increase the price of a petrol or a diesel, does it affect my demand? It depends. Yeah, it depends. And these are all things which is mandatory. So people, even if you are increasing to an extent, people would not mind, because it is actually a need for them. Without petrol or without food, they cannot survive. So if I'm increase, for an example, if I'm increasing I have two shoes. Okay, one is Puma and one is Adidas. Okay, so I'm increasing the price of Puma. So people, there is an alternative for them to go to Adidas and get a shoe, right? Because if there is an alternative, and then the price increasing would cause a problem. If there is no alternative, and there you can definitely increase the price, probably it will not affect your demand. So it depends. So where to raise your price of a product, and where you should decrease your price of a product. So all these answers can be, all these answers can be said by analytics. It can tell you, these are all some examples that I'm giving. These are all the application of analytics. Okay. Okay, Matthew, those who can differ consumption will reduce, but essential product consumption will be unaffected. Yeah. So essential product consumption will not be affected to an extent. Okay. So to an extent, it will not get affected. But for an example, it is not necessary for me to live with the shoe. So I find that right now I'm just planning to get a shoe, and which is my budget is 2000, and if it exceeds more than 2000, it is not mandatory for me to get that, because it is not my day to day need. I can go for a substitute product, and I can reject my plan. So in those sort of project, price is very essential. So in terms of retail, there could be 1 lakh, more than lakhs of product, where these companies would always have a problem. What is the price that I should fix? Even after fixing, should I increase my price or decrease my price, whether it is going to affect my demand or not? So all these questions can be answered using analytics. And there are multiple applications, and one is like product association. For an example, if you're getting into stores, there you would find some offer products. Say if you're getting milk, butter and jam all together is like 30% off. So why people generally, how they are doing it? Because if you are going to a store, people would provide you some combo offers. On what basis they are providing you all this combo offer? One product would be selling the most and the other product will not sell. So if I want to sell both the products together, then I can do some association and I can club two things together. So because like whenever I go for a retail store and if I'm getting a butter or if I'm getting a bread, then obviously what I'll see is I'm interested in getting a milk or a butter. And generally butter will not sell as an individual product. It is actually associated with bread. So there I can introduce a combo and I can sell both the things together. Or if there are like two things, one is selling the high and the other one is selling the low, but both the things have some association. Then what I'll do is I'll try to combine the two products and I can sell them in market so that I can sell both the products together. Okay, sometimes to encourage trying new products. Yeah, that is also one way because sometimes if you want to launch a new product, to encourage the particular brand, you would do all this sort of promotions. And all these promotions and what level promotion you should take and all this can be answered using analytics because everything's from a number. So there are almost 100, 200 problems that can be solved using analytics in retail. So these are all general problems that all the sector have. Okay, and next coming to healthcare. So any idea about healthcare where you can apply analytics? So Matthew had said pricing for treatment and drugs. Yeah, definitely that is one thing because some of the drugs which is rare, which is available only at seasonal time. So those sort of drugs would cost in an for an example for a cancer treatment there is a flower in China where the production is only in June and May. So those sort of time their price would be less, but for all other times the price would be more. And okay, and Rajesh you said symptoms. Okay, common symptoms to any illness. Yeah, that is also one great thing. So right now I am working on a project which is prenatal intensive care. So prenatal intensive care is nothing but whenever a child is born, if it is born before the stipulated time, so it takes hardly 10 months to come out to this world. But what if a kid is coming by 7 months or 8 months? So there those kids will not have that much health sufficiency to live. So their children's what we'll do is like we'll keep an incubator and we'll have 24 hour survey. So there people would keep on monitoring the kid. So they'll check the heartbeat rate and they'll check the blood circulation and all these things are being captured. So what as an analyst what we do is generally I was working on a central government project which is actually a prenatal intensive care. There we'll be recording the parameters of kid. So what is the weight that it holds and what is the breathing rate and what is the WBC rate, and there are different parameters. We'll take an account of all these parameters and we'll try to see what is the problem that a particular kid has and at what level the particular symptom can become worse. So all these things you can predict easily using analytics. So if you are thinking that you cannot be a doctor, then what you can do is you can assist the doctor by telling all this analysis. Because right now, if you're looking at, we had seen an image processing technique where whenever a patient is affected with cancer, the doctors would see a continuous report every week. They'll see how these cancer cells are getting stimulated and how it is getting extended. So now what they do is using analytics, they make some automated way. Based on this automated way, they try to find how the cancer cells are getting populated and what is the threat of the particular disease. So these are all the things you can diagnose and you can just tell them easily. And for an example, there are certain cancer issues which you can predict in an earlier stage. So if some of your ancestors have the same problem, how likely to for a person to get a cancer or not. So all these things can be predicted easily using analytics. Okay, Ganesh, you said particular area people, what kind of disease they were affected. Yeah, good point. So probably if you're looking at people whoever is living in slums who cannot live in big places, definitely they would have some problems like diarrhea and cholera. These are all like common diseases that they get because you can also find easily after Chennai flood. If I'm looking at, there are many slum people who are affected with many diseases. So there definitely our government can easily predict. These are all the possible diseases that can come after flood. So what are all the locations where you should concentrate much and where you should provide all the remedies first. So all these things can be answered easily. So these are all the common problems that healthcare industry have. And one thing is like drug interaction. So whenever you are looking at cancer patient, there are certain medication they should follow, and for some people the medication for their body condition that would suit. For some people it will not, it will cause a negative reaction. So using this analysis, we can just track them and we can find what is the stage of their cancer, and what is the likely date that they would live in, or if it is curable or incurable. So all these sort of things you can do with analysis. So everything deals with a number. So using all these patterns, you can easily identify the pattern. You can predict the future, how it would be, or how you could stop this particular disease. Okay. So these are all the common things where in healthcare industries people would do. And coming to communication sector, so first is actually customer retention. So customer retention is a problem which you can fit in all the sectors, like say retail or financial or manufacturing or an energy sector, where in healthcare people would not look in retailing customers because they want their patients to be cured. But apart from there, like you can see how to retain the customer. So if you're looking at retaining customer, how we are going to retain a customer? Say now there are like competition between the giant communication companies like Airtel or Aircel or all these people. If you're looking at, their first and foremost point is how they're going to retain my customer. If I'm using Vodafone, how likely I'm going to move to Airtel or Aircel? That's what their first concern would be, because instead of acquiring a new customer, if you are able to make your existing customer happy, that is more profitable to you accordingly. So instead of getting 100 new customers, if I'm able to retain my 1 lakh customer in my store, then that itself is a big thing for me. So every company would always look in how they can retain their customer. Can someone tell me like what are all the ways that people would follow to retain their customer? So if I'm holding a store and I have 1 lakh customer, so what are all the things if I do, my customers will stay in my same sector? Matthew said future analysis to know what features to offer for each market. Okay. Yeah. So there you need to know what is your customer. So if you're looking at the communication sector, everyone would provide different offers. For me, usually I just talk with all my clients, and sometimes I'll be talking with like people from different states. There they can provide me some good offers and STD calls, and some people would be making a call during night times. So even like there are like New Year offers, New Year SMS offers, and generally I don't SMS people. So generally I don't get that particular mail. So if someone is like sending continuous SMS, they'll get offers in terms of SMS package. So you are targeting your particular customer and you are sending some offers that they are interested in. So in order to send a particular offer, in order to focus a particular group, you need to know what is the group and how the groups are reacting and what is the interest of that particular group. So all these things can be answered using analytics. So analytics would tell you, okay, these are all the groups that can be formed, and for this particular group you can suggest this particular offer. So some people for me, like this is actually a pattern that I follow. So every Friday or Saturday I'll be going to a liquor shop, I'll be getting something and I'll come out. So if you're looking at some of the offers that I get, I see all my offers is related to liquor. So I can be bad, but not that bad. Okay. So only on Friday or Saturday I'll have. So I get some specialized SMS that which fits me. So which is my interest. And if you're looking at my sister, what she'll be getting is she'll be getting some offers through Flipkart or Amazon. So even that is actually like they're trying to learn your behavior. For example, a simple example is whenever you go to a Flipkart or Amazon site, just go to a product and see for 2-3 times. For example, I was planning for getting a Skull Candy headset. I was looking for the price for 2-3 days, and obviously whatever web pages that I browse, I can see only Skull Candy ads there from Flipkart or Amazon. How they are doing it? Because they are actually tracking your way that you are searching, and they found what is your interest more than you Google know who you are. So people are easily getting your data and they are just trying to find your interest. For an example, if I'm looking at Paulo Coelho book for 5 to 6 times, then obviously I'll get advertisement or individual advertisement regarding books. There they can just provide 2 Paulo Coelho books would cost almost 5,000 or 6,000. They can provide all those plans and they can target you. So in order to know this, you need to know what is customer and what is their interest. So and if you're looking at some Ola or cab facilities, what they'll do is they'll provide some offers on a particular day to retain their customer. So these are all the things you cannot directly take in promotion. You need to know what is the promotion that they're going to do for a particular customer. So you need to understand who is your customer and what is the behavior of your customer. So all these things come from analytics. And Monica, you said providing best services like good call plans. Yeah, that is actually one thing, because they know what is the call plan that you are interested in. They are trying to understand the way that you make calls. So based on that, they provide you offers. So to make an offer, you need to understand your customer. Who is your customer? How he is behaving exactly. So all this behavior can be easily tracked. Nowadays, it is very easy to track. One interesting thing that I was working on is I was working on a UK project, UK company. So there in that particular retail store, what they'll do is whatever customers, whoever customer that they're getting into their store, they'll provide free Wi-Fi and they'll just collect their numbers. So if they want to get a free Wi-Fi connection in that particular store, they have to provide their mobile number. So once it is registered, whenever they get into the store, they can use their Wi-Fi for easy. Okay, there is a free Wi-Fi there. So after introducing this particular scheme, what they try to do is whenever the customers are passing near to their streets. For example, when we are working on a UK project, what that particular company do is if a particular customer who had already come to the store, he is trying to get into another store, or he is moving in an area which is nearby. For example, I hold a store in a particular location, and within 100-meter radius, if my customers are entering, definitely instantly the company, what they'll do is they'll send an SMS. Today there is a offer, there is a 30% offer on sweets. So if you're interested, just get into the next lane and come to a store. So these are all like nowadays the marketing had been very improved. So even if you're crossing a store, you will get a SMS. So here this is the offer we are providing. If you're interested, get this product. So people are targeting individual customer. It is initially they were targeting group of customer. Now it had become a scenario where the companies are focusing each and every customer, because each and every customer is important to them. How they are going to retain them with all these plans. Because and definitely people sometimes would fool you. Even we suggest whenever I get into a store, I would think, okay, I should not get any combo offers which is beyond my limit. But definitely on looking at the store or on looking at the combo packages that they provide, people are easily attracted to it and they are getting the product. So this is how they are retaining their customer and how they are increasing their market base. And one example I can tell, but definitely no one would believe that. Does a product cover would cause an impact on sales? Matthew, you said yes. So I had seen through my eyes. So there were like two companies. Okay, they're providing. I don't want to tell their name. They are actually like a competitor companies, two different companies. And if you're looking at the product's quality, both of the people provide with same product with same quality, same amount of quality. But the opposite company, they are not able to figure, because one company is so very good in market, but in that particular company only one product is not selling that great, but the competitor company is selling the same product in a higher profit, and they are like people are still interested and getting more and more products. There we are not able to figure out why, because these two companies, they were looking at, okay, my product quality is also good, his is also good, and I am also fixing the same price that what he quotes. Even I had tried to reduce, but even then I cannot meet his sales. So in that case, what we found is one simple thing is we are not able to see from our past data. So we don't know, because even we are selling the same product in the same location, even then we are not able to figure out what is the problem. Then we just took a survey. Okay, what is the thing that you love about this product and you love about the second product? There we found most of the people, they were suggesting that the package that the company provides is good looking. So they provide a zipped package. So whenever there is actually a product where you can put all the things in a zipped packet. So that is only one thing which attracted the customer. So because of that, there is a difference of almost 480 crores. So do you think that only one cover would cost 480 crores? Initially we thought, okay, why this color would cause an impact or not? We thought that, but when you're looking at the profit margin, that difference is actually 480 crores. Then we suggested them just provide a Ziploc package, and we thought which color to provide. So initially, because which color to provide, I don't have any data. So what we did is we just took a 6-month survey to all the customers getting into the store, and we were asking for this particular product, what is the most preferable color that you would suggest? So everyone said, most of the ladies, they suggested if it is a pink, reddish pink, that will be looking good. So after increasing the color, after changing the color and after making a small change in package, now we saw the product sales was like increased by 480 or 460 crores. So these are all small things, but when coming into a larger, so say for Walmart, if they are making this alteration and they are selling in almost 2 lakh stores, just think how much profit they would get in. So it is very essential to know all these things. So you may think that color or a package would be a smaller thing according to us, but when getting into overall scale, it speaks differently. So the profit that you get is also completely different. So all these things, how you would know? All these things comes only from data, because Walmart cannot go and see how each and for example, if I'm holding a petty shop, I know okay, cigarette is selling well and betel nuts is selling well, or if I'm holding only 10 products in my store, or if I'm holding a shop where I hold shoes and cloths, I know which cloths is selling the best. But what if I have 1,000 stores across India and I have more than 2 lakh products? There it becomes tedious, right? So there you need to know how each and every product is behaving and what is the action to take for each and every product. That's where the help of analytic comes in. So these are all examples. And coming to capacity planning, so what is the people size there? How many networks I should build there, and network optimization. So all these problems can be solved using analytics.